From LALATE News headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Mornings LALATE.
It's a big Tuesday morning here in LA with incredible details about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021 today. We'll be going over that monthly stimulus check the Democrats want you to have, and the reconciliation voting is started. We'll be going over all the breaking news you need to know as Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, testifies on Capitol Hill today. We'll be cutting then to this stimulus that raises your benefits up a lifetime, and we'll understand, based upon Powell's comments, if the inflation rate will be raising your benefits upwards of 10% additionally. Wow. Plus a fifth stimulus check for next year. Oh, yes. All that incredible details coming up later in this video. And then we turn to the thousands of dollars that viewers continue to get right now, right today. It's Taco Tuesday, but it's also time for it to get some money. It's a big Tuesday morning. I'm excited for you. Let's get to the details. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, and the coffee is brewing, but the bacon is still coming. It's Mornings LA. Everybody, happy Tuesday morning to you, live from Santa Monica. How are you? The sun is starting to just come in just in the last 5 minutes. It was dark this morning, but it's starting to come in. Beautiful weather here in Santa Monica, California. How's the weather where you are? I know there was heat waves across the country and still that tornado activity. So tell me where you're tuning in from. And how's the weather? In this fourth stimulus check update on Mornings LA this Tuesday morning, live from Santa Monica, we'll be going over that monthly stimulus check the Democrats want you to have. The breaking news across the board that you need to know as the voting started on the reconciliation process. I'll go over everything you need to know at issue at hand. Then we cut to fifth stimulus with Jay Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, back on Capitol Hill. Testifying today, we'll be going over how this will raise your benefits up a lifetime if you're on benefits anywhere from SSI, SSDI to VA benefits, and applying a new benchmark and why that benchmark could see a 10% lift lifetime? Oh boy. Plus a fifth stimulus check? Yes. And then we cut to the big money across the board. It's Tuesday, and it's time to get some money. It's also time to get some tacos. But we're going to be covering at least the money for this video. This is LA, your only American 24-hour a day, 7 days a week financial news channel in the United States. Live in the morning like right now, and then taped in the afternoons. I'm next back with you at 9:30 with Crypto Mornings, live on air. Boy, that's going to be a big broadcast. We just finished Crypto Overnight, and it was the most watched show astronomically, leaps and bounds compared to the night before. Breaking records every day, and boy, I told you we're going to a crypto crash. I've been telling you for weeks that the crypto crash was happening, and I also told you last night we were not at the low. We are certainly not at the bottom. Of all the breaking news across the board on that big broadcast coming up next. Then we go into noontime LA at 11 a.m. It's going to be a big show. So stay tuned for that big show at home noontime at 11 a.m. But subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record in 1 year. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Yesterday showed our biggest subscriber growth ever in almost 4 weeks. Like this video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. And every time you like the video, it delivers free skincare. I'm just trying that today. I don't know if that's true. Let's cut to the exciting details about that fourth stimulus. House bill, Senate proposal, both want you to have a monthly check. Let's go over the comparison of the two. Slightly different on the number of months and slightly different on the payouts. First, House, monthly, pandemic plus 1 year. Senate, monthly, July to December. Okay, let's look at the payouts. Here we go. House, 1,000, monthly. Senate, unknown, monthly, after the House's first month is a 2,000. But how much is the Senate word on the street? This. Word on the street is the senators want to pay you, the Democratic senators want to pay you this per month. OMG, that is wonderful. $2,000 a month over 6 months, $12,000. That's delicious. $1,400 a month over 6 months, $8,400. That is savory. I'm loving this. Let's go, though, back to something we got to discuss. Here we go. Well, pandemic plus 1 year, House. Some legislators may contend the pandemic's over. So that might reduce the House bill to just 1 year of checks. If you're in the live chat just before 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, get ready to vote House or Senate. Tell me where you're tuning in from. And also tell me how the weather is, House or Senate. But if the House bill is reduced to just 1 year of checks, that would be 12 months, because there's 12 months in a year. 12 checks. $13,000 for the House compared to this from the Senate over 6 months. Wow. I think you have an opinion. Jump in the live chat right now. Senate or House, I want to hear you voting. I want to see you voting, House or Senate, and tell me where you're tuning in from and how the weather is. Jump in the live chat right now and vote right away. All right, let's go over everything you need to know about that fourth stimulus check. Who would get it? Democrats want everyone who got a third stimulus check to get a fourth stimulus check. Single individuals, $75,000 or less, Democrats would give you a fourth stimulus check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, Democrats would give you a fourth stimulus check. Family of four, Democrats would give you a fourth stimulus check. For the married couple, you double it. For the family of four, you quadruple it. And if you're on benefits, yes, Democrats would give you a fourth stimulus check. Congratulations. SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits. And finally, the fourth stimulus check is not taxable because it's not income. But the fourth stimulus check is a monthly check. It's not a waivable check. It can't wave back at you. So if you're going to go get your nails done and you see the check at the next chair getting its nails done, don't try to wave at the check. Hey, check, like those nails, looking wonderful. Didn't wave back at me, rude check. I don't like your nails. It can't wave back at you, even if it has its nails done. It's not a waivable check. It's just, it's a check of nails. I don't know. It's better than the fettuccine Alfredo. There you go. The fourth stimulus check would land in the month of July. The Democrats would be calling the vote by the month of July. July 4th they represent. So the fourth stimulus check would come in the month of July for the month of July. The check would come in the month of August for the month of August. Maybe with better looking nails. And there you go. That is the first of your 3 parts of the fourth stimulus check update of 2021 today. In the second part, we'll be going over calling the vote, understanding how this plays out and what is in store for this week, in the middle of this week. Then the third part of this video, we go over the whole voting process and how things can get amended at any time. We're going to go over how to understand where those amendments may change and how they can change for the better. And then let's go to a preview of the second half of this video, fifth stimulus. Wow. So Jay Powell, head of the Federal Reserve, is testifying on Capitol Hill. Well, he's going to give us some more insight into understanding how much your benefits may be raised lifetime. We're looking at potentially a 10% raise. Wow. I'll be going over all those details and Jay Powell's anticipatory comments in just a second, the second half of this video, plus a fifth stimulus check. But first, let's get some money. It's Tuesday, and it's Tuesday Money Day. Well, it's Taco Tuesday, money, dinero. I don't know. Just give a catchy phrase. I can't get a catchy phrase from it. But that's what we do on this channel. I give people money. In spring of last year, I got viewers $25 million of EIDL loans to save their businesses, their homes, and their employees' homes. But in fall 2020, we did not see second stimulus yet passing, and people needed money around the holidays. So I got viewers $250,000 for the items which I'm about to go over with you right now. It's rent, it's mortgage assistance, it's homeowners utilities, it's renter utilities, and there's a lot of money available for you, fortunes. So get a pen and paper ready, and if it must be a Crayola crown, match the Crayola blue. And don't ask me if this is KC blue, because you do not ask me ever if that's Cardinals red. So I see what you're doing. I'm not going to fall for it. So get that pen and paper ready. I got a lot of money for you across this video. See the very end. We're first going to start with that rent. It's a lot of money. It's about $5,000, 4 to 6 months of rent. Each place has different eligibility. So if you reach out to one and it doesn't have it, don't worry, reach out to the next. They also have their own pots of money. All right, you ready? Here you go. You're going to reach out for that rent to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, your state housing authority. The keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID or mortgage assistance because of COVID. You don't use words they don't know, like stimulus or Nancy's fabulous hairstyle. Just see, they'll say, when? It was never fabulous. They won't know what you're talking about. And they'll probably disconnect the phone. So there you go. Congratulations to Tim and Linda who got this wonderful money for rent and utilities. But the next pot of money, you're killing it. One viewer got $5,000 from this last week. The week before, another viewer got $6,000 to $7,000 for it. And if you've gotten $1 or $100,000 for this channel, jump in the live chat. It inspires me, inspires everyone else. And what is this money? It's SNAP. It's SNAP. It is money for your food. So go get it. You reach out to the Department of Agriculture to get it. One viewer on Overnight's Crypto asked, if I'm on SSI and SSDI, can I get SNAP as well? Of course you can. Yeah, of course you can. Eligibility is generally the same as a stimulus check. Reach out to Department of Agriculture. How much can you get? Family of four now in Hawaii gets upwards of $16,000 a year. Wow, why so much money? Because of 2 executive orders, one from Biden, one from Trump, that raise your benefits up 15% between now and December. Lynn Glenn got it for herself, for her son, and her mom. Gail got it, so go get it. You're killing it. We're killing it. The nails, not so much. We're only 10 minutes into this video. Was it 10 minutes? Yeah, 10 minutes, 11 minutes into this video. And we've gotten $16,000 for SNAP for family of 4 in Hawaii, $5,000 for rent. Well, I got more money for you, and starting right now. That money's coming back from your states. How is it coming back? The federal government has identified states as overpaying you unemployment assistance due to no fault of your own, due to their computer error. Not your computer, thank you. Your computer works fine. It's their darn computer. Well, the federal government has ordered the states to return the money back to you that they had overpaid you before. Great news. So where is it going to land? On the account you have on file with the state unemployment department. When? Well, reach out to your state to track the check you're getting back because the computers were not working before. And when you ask them to track the check, say to them, please track the check with a different computer. Thank you. There you go. Finally, the last pot of money. The last pot of money is a lot. And Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. And it's the refund of your IRS taxes. If you got it, please jump in the live chat and say you got it, because one viewer on Evenings LA last night said, has anyone gotten it? I haven't gotten mine. So every time that someone helps someone else saying, I got it, it helps inspire other people. There have been about 2,000 people who have gotten on this channel. But if you got it as well, jump in the live chat. Where is it? When is it? How much money is it? And how can you track it? Let's go over all the details. First, let's say you had $9,000 of unemployment assistance, of which you had a $5,000 tax bill. $4,000 was your taxes on unemployment assistance. You're getting back $4,000. Where? To the account you have on file with unemployment, or to the account you have on file with IRS, otherwise in the mail. Or when are you going to get it? In this month. And can you track it? Yes, you can track the refund check from IRS 70% of the time. Go to irs.gov, set up a username, password, go in there, put in your social security number, and do what's called a transcript search. 70% of the time, it reveals stuff you would never surprise to see revealed. First, it'll reveal the tax return you filed. Then it'll reveal the taxes you paid. Then it'll reveal my favorite ice cream. Then it'll reveal the tostada recipe you've been looking for. And finally, it'll reveal the check you're getting back from IRS. And there you go. Can we top that? We can. In the second of your 3 fourth stimulus check updates of 2021, starting right now. You know, Bernie sort of tipped it off yesterday on Sunday, when he said, I haven't seen the bill yet. I still have opinions of the situation, but I haven't seen the bill yet. What he's referring to is, in fact, I haven't seen a final draft of the bill yet. Not the actual bill, but a draft of the bill. So what I'm revealing for the first time really on Mornings LA is what they're doing. When you do a recon, you can do recons different ways. But the way Chuck did his third recon is probably, third stimulus recon is likely the way he's doing his fourth stimulus recon, which is the House subcommittee is likely working with the Senate subcommittees in marking up the language of the bill. Why does he do this? Why did he do it for third stimulus? Why is he likely doing it for fourth stimulus? Let me explain. Normally, when a bill goes to a house, a branch of Congress, House or Senate, it goes into subcommittees. And if it goes into subcommittee, it may not come out of the subcommittee. Chuck knows that. So what he did with third stimulus, was he had House subcommittee take care of everything. Nancy's not going to let anything die in a subcommittee. You know that. So it goes in the subcommittee, and he has the House subcommittee talk with the Senate subcommittee. So they work hand in hand, and they already have an agreement on the markup of the language. Comes out of the House subcommittee, and then it starts going through the voting process. When it lands back into the Senate, he's not going to send it to the Senate subcommittees. Why? Because he doesn't want it to stay there and die. And also, as a time saver, First, it's a time saver. And second, because the GOP in the third stimulus clearly wanted to go to Senate subcommittees and die there. So it's not going to do that. But it's interesting. Bernie has not seen a final draft of the bill or close to a final draft of the bill. And that's not unusual. AOC talked about this extensively in 2020, and I covered it on this channel, where AOC would just come out of, they would just say, here's a bill, vote on it. You have 20 minutes, read 1,000 pages. And she said they do it all the time. I can't stand it. So understand, it's important to know that the situation is very fluid. But let's go over where we are today. So the voting is about to start. The president has said the voting was started this week, and the voting is going to start. And as we go into this reconciliation process, this has already been underway and will end by July 4th, and will end with a passage. These are all representations by Chuck. We got to this wonderful place with comments from Jalapal on Friday, which are very important to understand. Jalapal in a double negative said that the White House has not in any way told me not to do what I'm doing. And then Brian Schatz, Democrat progressive as well, said the White House has repeatedly told him that the White House considers the progressive priorities the White House's own priorities, and the White House has not asked progressives to stop doing what they're doing. This is very important. Let me explain what's at issue. President doesn't write bills. President doesn't write bills. He's the president. He's executive branch. But he does propose what he wants in a bill. And he'll often say, and he is saying this time, what are lines in the sands, provisions he must have in there, or he'll veto it because he wants those provisions. As to this bill, the first one is climate, a progressive policy. The second one is the CARES economy, a progressive policy. It refers to medical issues. So he has said, I want these in there, those two progressive policies. To which Jalapal and the progressives have said, yes, Mr. President, we're putting them in there. And yes, Mr. President, we're taking them to the finish line. To which the president says, love you. Thank you for taking care of my two progressive policies. I have your back as well with your progressive policies. Make sure to put them in there. And what's Jalapal's progressive policies? Stimulus checks. So there you go. How do we get to this wonderful spot? We got to the spot with Chuck Schumer the Friday before Memorial Day weekend, confirming, one, we're under recon already. Two, that the recon will end by July 4th, according to Schumer, and that'll end by July 4th by passage. Well, how do we get to that spot? From Jalapal as well. Jalapal and Richard Schumer in a letter say, Mr. Chair, Mr. Majority Leader, call the vote. Well, Jalapal's letter was co-signed by 12 House Democrats who are among the 100 plus, yes, you heard me right, 100 plus House Democrats who had written to the president a letter a week earlier saying, Mr. President, we're going to be putting monthly stimulus checks into that fourth stimulus package. Wow. Can we get better than that? We do. As 7 days ago, 7 House Democrats wrote the president a letter saying, Mr. President, when we write the fourth stimulus check, we will be writing fourth stimulus checks monthly in the fourth stimulus package. Who are these people to say that? What do they do for a living? They're on the House subcommittee, which I just detailed to you a second ago, that writes stimulus checks in the U.S. House of Congress. They wrote your first stimulus check, your second stimulus check, your third stimulus check, and they currently are marking up the bill. They updated us, and they're putting monthly fourth stimulus checks in there as well. Wonderful news. Can we top that? We can. As they represent, they're doing fifth stimulus checks for next year as well. That's wonderful news. That's coming up in the second half of this video. And can we top that? We can. When the president anchored to the edge of the finish line for stimulus 2 Saturdays ago by signing an international agreement. It's wonderful news. Let me explain to you what it involved. The president's fourth stimulus is paid for by raising the U.S. corporate tax rate, to which the president said, I'm worried about it because I'm worried corporations in the United States would leave the U.S. soils and go to another country where the tax rate is lower. So he reached out to those other countries with lower tax rates and said, hey, can you raise your corporate tax rate? And they tentatively said yes a few weeks ago, to which the president reached out to his legislative team and said, I love how this is going. Around Christmas, instead of doing those gingerbread houses, can we go over internationally and meet those countries and have them sign on the dotted line? And if they do, then we'll come back and we'll remove those provisions about international taxes for fourth stimulus. Well, someone had a brilliant idea and surprised everyone. Biden did it. Biden went overseas internationally 2 Saturdays ago and had them sign that provision into law now, before fourth stimulus, which anchors fourth stimulus to the edge of the finish line because now fourth stimulus is easier to pass. The international provisions about corporate taxes don't have to be in a fourth stimulus package because they're now in the international agreement. And boy, can we get better news than that? We can, as we go into our third and big final update, and boy, it's the biggest one, For stimulus. So a lot of breaking news you're going to hear for the first time on Mornings LALATE. It's coming up after the commercial break. And fifth stimulus, as we look forward to Jay Powell's comments in just a few minutes, I'll be going over what you should anticipate for raising up your benefits, SSI and SSDI, and that fifth stimulus check. Is there anything better than that? Yes, the volunteers. The volunteers embody the true Purple Power spirit. They're viewers helping viewers. So if you've had problems finding that rent, that utilities, that mortgage assistance, or that SNAP, reach out to the volunteers. How do you find them? Open the description of this video. Go down in the description. They are located on the community page. You'll see an emoji of a house. Click that link. It goes over to news.la.com/community. The community page. It has a picture of some kitty cats. They're not the volunteers, just kitty cats. Lower on the page are the volunteers. Reach out to them and they'll help you get those items. They cannot take you to Taco Tuesday. They cannot make you an enchilada. They cannot give you a nice recipe for tostada. And they cannot give you directions to Nancy's hairstylist. But they can possibly get you that rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, SNAP that you've had problems finding. Here's a little bit about those volunteers. I'll be back in 60 seconds with the second half of the big exciting details about your fourth stimulus and fifth stimulus in just 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on Mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on Mornings LALATE. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the trolls are being banned, and the coffee is brewing. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning live from Santa Monica. How are you doing? Coming up right after this video is Mornings Crypto. Don't miss that show. Overnight's Crypto was our most watched ever as cryptocurrency is crashing. I predicted it was going to crash. I was predicting crypto to crash for weeks. I told you the day it would crash, and it did crash. And I also told you it was not at a bottom, and it's also not at the bottom. So everything that I've been telling viewers has been correct. I want you to tune into that big show coming up right after this one. And then we go into Noontime LA at 11 a.m. But first, subscribe. At 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. This channel's helping people, not tracking checks or cash. We're cashing checks. Also, like this video. 3,000 likes. Every like helps. It helps in the algorithm rankings. Thank you for subscribing yesterday in massive form, our most subscribers in a single day in several weeks. And consider becoming a member. Let's cut right to fifth stimulus. Well, a lot of big news. I had some great comments during the commercial break, people asking about if I'm on benefits, how about this? First, let me explain some broad stroke new stuff for fifth stimulus for beneficiaries. And because I got these questions as well on Overnight's Crypto. When we're talking about raising your benefits under fifth stimulus, if you're on SSI to VA, nothing else is hurt. So I want you to understand that they want to raise your benefits and not disqualify you from something. That's the first thing. Second, the raising your benefits is its own instrument. So it does not mean it's that or a stimulus check or that or this. It's its own instrument. So this is an extra thing just for beneficiaries. Let's go over first fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus will have another stimulus check. Those 7 Democrats represent that the fifth stimulus check will be in the fifth stimulus package. When? January of 2021, likely. Calling the vote in around November, December, starting the markup in September. Fourth stimulus this year, fifth stimulus next year. Number two, great news is the president has dedicated over $1 billion to Social Security Administration to ensure your checks going forward are on time. This is both fourth stimulus, fifth stimulus, and beneficiary checks. We had a real debacle about this earlier this year when people on benefits weren't getting their $1,400 third stimulus check as same time as other people. They were getting them weeks later, months later, so he's trying to solve this. Great news across the board. And then we go to Jay Powell, your head of the Federal Reserve, is back on Capitol Hill testifying today. He's likely to say in his prepared statements, one, inflation is high, but we're fine at inflation rate high. Number two, he won't give you the inflation rate prediction of where we're going to. And number three, he's likely to reassure the American people about his prior week comments from last week, which were 2 rate hikes for interest in 2 years from now, not this coming year. And that inflation is not too hot, as his Fed chair out of St. Louis unfortunately said last Friday. So what does that mean for your benefits? Here we go. It's important to know that your benefits will have a new benchmark, and that new benchmark is inflation. And you also know inflation is running hot. How hot? Based upon the Producer Price Index, the CPI, and Fed statements, Wall Street believes that we may be at about 4% now, heading up to a temporary, or what they call transitory spike, before coming back down. And that transitory spike may be upwards of 10% and may be around the end of this year. Let's go over how this calculates for your fifth stimulus, raising of your benefits starting right now. Under fifth stimulus, they would modify the entire system by first giving you a single, if I grab it, I missed it. Oh, and I missed it again. I think it's here. There it is. They'll be raising your benefits up one big time. Then they're removing asset limit, adding inflationary benchmark, removing the income exclusion, and removing the marriage penalty. Let's go over how this calculates for you. First, the very first thing under fifth stimulus they'll do to this reform is first raise your benefits up one time. This is you. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, survivor benefits, or multiple benefits, or SSA. Then that they always apply a benchmark in December for next year. You know that it either steps up or stays the same. Well, now, with them talking about this transitory temporary spike at the end of the year and potentially 10%, you have to hope that the spike of 10%, the peak hits right when they apply that benchmark in November, December. And you have to hope for that very high inflation rate of potentially 10%, because if that happens, your benefits would be raised up 10%, not just next year, but lifetime. Even after the inflation rate drops next year, your benefits never step down. Once they step up, they never step down. This is huge news and is astronomically more money than the SS200 that we were ever talking about on this channel. Then they're going to remove the asset cap. Dates back to the 1980s law that says you can't have more than $3,000 in hand. Now you'll be able to put some stimulus checks in your hand and some 2-for-1 tacos for Taco Tuesday. They're going to remove the income cap that prevents you from working. Now you'll be able to work and stay on benefits if you wish. And finally, the marriage penalty is going to go away. Love is going to win, and you'll be able to marry your longtime love interests. You will no longer fear loss of benefits, and you'll be able to enjoy marriage. Viewers like Rob and Sandy will be able to get married and no longer fear the marriage penalty. And there you go. That's fifth stimulus, that's fourth stimulus, and that's third stimulus. But guess what? It's hard to keep track of the three, isn't it? So it's important to consider becoming a member. Members are getting thousands of dollars from this channel because under third stimulus, there's thousands, tens of thousands of dollars for them to get. Application based, as you've seen in this video. Viewers getting $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 by becoming a member and following the money that's available for them in third stimulus. What happens? As a member, I deliver daily a breakdown to you via the community page of everything that's in third stimulus for you to go get. Application based. Everything that's proposed in fourth stimulus, everything that's in fifth stimulus. By becoming a member, you see the breakdowns of the monies you can go get because they're application based. We all knew we were going to get a third stimulus check of $1,400, but did you know about the thousands of dollars you can get additionally that dwarfs that $1,400 stimulus check? Consider becoming a member and get the details delivered to you daily from the community page of YouTube, written by me. Which brings us to the third and final big update of your forced stimulus check update of 2021, starting right now. We're going to go over personal message, then we're going to go over routing times, then we'll be going over false narratives, and finally calling the vote. A lot of breaking stuff. First, people have been asking me, what is my opinion? I don't do opinions. I don't do opinions on this channel. I don't give opinions because that's speculation. That's psychic. I don't do psychic readings. Now, do I have emotions? I do have emotions. And what is my emotion about the situation? I don't like anything being left to the last second. I think at the current status of looking at the situation, you have to be emotional about the fact that the whole thing, not stimulus checks, but the whole thing is going down to the wire. And they do this all the time. Second stimulus went down to the lily just a few hours. Third stimulus went down to just a few hours. And I don't like people leaving things to the last second. I don't like leaving things to the last second. There's YouTube comedy videos about people running out of gas and and driving past gas stations saying, I could still keep on driving. I don't need gas. So I don't like people leaving things to the last second. It's very commonplace with these legislators. Second, if you're with me last year in July of 2020, you saw what happened in July of 2020. We have a very key memory of the events of July 2020. So I still remember that. I'm not going to forget that. And so that's in the back of my brain cell. So I don't have a personal opinion about anything. I don't have an opinion about the situation, but I do have an emotional reaction about people waiting to the last second. Now, not that they're waiting till the last second, but not getting things done ahead of time. Now, what's early in this video, I showed you how it's a time saver currently by doing the markup of the bill currently in the House and the Senate subcommittees at the same time. It saves time so that all that you have really after that is voting. Voting. There's no more marking up. That we mark up and then all we do is vote. Next, it's important to note that on the 9 steps of the voting process, they can combine those 9 steps in voting days. They can do multiple steps in the same day with the exception of the vote-a-rama. Third, it's important to note that Chuck and Nancy are very keen on timelines, and they've been doing this a while. There are different ways to do recon steps. You can do all the procedural steps first and take a break for a few weeks and then come back and do all the substance steps. It looks like they're doing all the markup first, then zooming through all the voting together really quickly. You can do that when you're doing a recon because it's all your party. So now let's go over those 9 voting steps starting right now. Step 5, 7, and 8 are the ones where things may get modified, so pay special attention to those. The first 4 are much of nothing because they're just procedural steps. Step 1, the House subcommittee votes on the procedural bill. Step 2, the House floor votes on the procedural bill. Step 3, the Senate votes on the procedural bill. Step 4, the President signs the procedural bill. At that point, the procedural bill is in the books. The tow truck has passed over the finish line. Time to go get the substantive bill, the important one, the tow hitch. Okay, here we go. Step 5, critical step. This is the House subcommittee vote. The House subcommittee at this point has been marking up the bill. They will stop marking up the bill and call the vote. At that point, you're going to see whether there's stimulus checks in there or not stimulus checks in there, or stimulus checks of a certain magnitude you think it need to get changed. Then step 6, the House votes on the substantive bill. Here we go. Steps 7 and 8, the 2-day vote-a-rama in the Senate, in which Bernie Sanders, like others, finally get a final close draft of the bill. And they get the bill from the House that has just passed, and they look at it and say, do I like it or do I need to amend it? 2 days of potential amendment, 3 possibilities. 1, the House bill has no stimulus checks in there. The senators amend and add them in there. Possibility 2, the House bill has stimulus checks in there and the senators are fine with it. They leave it alone. Step 3, the House bill has stimulus checks in there and the senators still want to amend them. And finally, step 9, the president signs into law. There you go. Next, fake narratives. Fake narratives, which are really getting just all over the place. It's important to note that the fake narratives have nothing to do with the stimulus package, have nothing to do with passage of the recon, but the fake narratives confuse the American people. The president is not doing a good job at stopping this. Let's understand something, and there's a couple of things to realize about this. The president could have stopped all this idle chatter. I call it the peanut gallery. Could have stopped the peanut gallery by saying, I don't want to hear about it. And it would just made it easier for the American people to digest the situation. But instead, he hasn't. And so you have the Ron Portmans of the world talking. Last night on Evenings LA, one viewer in the chat said something like, the bipartisan group will be announcing an agreement on Thursday, which was totally wrong. It was totally false. I deleted the comment. I said, please don't post that false comment again. He apologized. He said, I saw that somewhere. I said, no problem. This is the problem. The situation is that these people, the peanut gallery, is saying wacko stuff, and the president allowing this wacko stuff to be said. It does not impact forced stimulus. It does not impact the recon process, but it confuses the American people. What did those people say late yesterday? They actually said, I can't say that with a straight face because it's really wacko. They said, you know what? We're getting really good on this. And we're getting sort of close, maybe the six of us, of which the six don't have hundreds of other congressmen behind them. They're just working in a vacuum with the six of them. But let's just go with what they're saying. The six of us are getting pretty close. But we haven't figured out how to deal with how to pay for it yet. We'll deal with that later. What? The hardest part of the bill is how to pay for it, how to pay for the forced stimulus package. And they actually said that they're getting close to a potential agreement on something, but they haven't even started talking about how to pay for it. When are you going to start talking about how to pay for it? In November? It's just crazy. And they say it like a straight face. They're making a fool of themselves. They really are making a fool of themselves. But the president, by allowing this chatter to continue, is confusing the American people. And legislation in general is confusing. One viewer in our chat said, wow, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, there is a lot going on here. And the president could make it simpler for purposes of the American people to digest it, but he isn't. Here's another thing to understand. You're hearing it for the first time on Mornings LA for a while. The continuing resolution for the second stimulus in fall of last year, a continuing resolution is to pay the budget for the federal government. What was in the on the continuing resolution? Money for foreign countries that have nothing to do with our country. So there is often things in bills that you would think aren't in there. Second stimulus, there were stimulus checks in there, and there was also money for foreign countries in a budget bill to run the federal budget. So why the problem is that the president and these legislators have names for things, the total title, and people hear the title and they're like, well, of course there's nothing in there. Well, yeah, they always put stuff in there because that's what they do. Third stimulus was supposed to be for jobs. And guess what? They put stimulus checks in there for people who don't have jobs. And then guess what? This fall, fifth stimulus. It's the American Family Plan. Guess what? There's stuff in there for single people. And there's also stimulus checks for single people as well. So by choosing these titles for these packages, families, jobs, budget bills, people hear it and they get very, very confused. It's no fault of their own. So it's the problem that the president is allowing this peanut gallery to continue, and they will continue to the final end. Which brings us finally to Purple Power Push. You've been doing a great job. Continue to push. Go on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit and Instagram. Hashtag Purple Power, hashtag MSC. If you see other people tweeting, retweet theirs as well. Do not tweet too fast. One viewer saw, unfortunately, the impact of that. Do not tweet too fast. Give yourself a break between each tweet. Tweeting too fast could put your account on suspension for a few days. So do not tweet too fast between tweets. Also, if you find other people's tweets, you can retweet them as well, but do not retweet too fast either. And finally, if you don't use the internet, then the old-fashioned way, telephone. Pick up the telephone, call your legislators, speak to them and express to them your desire of why you need stimulus checks. And we know why we need stimulus checks. The new unemployment number was released last Thursday. It showed jobless claims going up. The Fed Chair Jay Powell testified last Wednesday saying that he's continuing to support this economy through Friday. Today, on Capitol Hill, he'll say the same thing. He will say, I'm still supporting this economy. If the Fed head is supporting the economy, then stimulus checks are needed to support this economy as well. And thank you for joining me on a big morning's broadcast. Coming up in just 5 minutes after this video is Morning's Crypto. Stay tuned for that big show. And then 11 a.m. is Noontime LA. A lot of breaking news as we see the latest details unfold about all these stimulus packages. So have a beautiful morning, but first subscribe. I don't want you to miss a single video across the board. Subscribe. 400,000 subscribers. I want you part of this family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video. 2,000-3,000 likes. Every like helps in the algorithm algorithm rankings, and it delivers free pizza. There's something like that. And consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Cow, CNO VIP. I'll see you in 5 minutes as Morning's Crypto heats up.